Good golly, now this is a target. Bitcoin pulls back to our first and most bullish scenario right around the 8,200, and at the time of me filming this, of course, there is a bounce. You can see it happening clearly on the hourly. This is the reaction we've seen over the last actually 5 or 6 hours now, after touching right into that $8,200 range, going down all the way to about like 8,290 on some exchanges. Absolutely critical area where we're bouncing right now, the 82. Will this hold this? Guys, as we've been talking about for about a week and a half, we didn't mention it in the last video, but like the last 3 or 4 videos prior to that, we were talking about this $8,200 pullback range. This is exactly what we've been expecting and exactly what we wanted to see. And even as we mentioned on January 21st, if we actually got that move down to the 8.2, all the way down potentially to the $8,000 range, and then a bounce afterwards, that is absolute prime time, you guys. Is that what's going to happen? Or in fact, will things get a lot more treacherous? Guys, let's get into the episode. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting episode. We have a lot to get into in this. In fact, finally, guys, the price action, I'll be honest, I was getting so tired of seeing that price at the exact same like $50 range. It was just, for like 4 straight days, it just would not get below or above that line and stay there. Thank goodness, I'm just so happy that we finally had a move. Even though it was down, which is what we were expecting in the short term, I would rather see, moves up and down drastically every single day than just the same like $50. So incredibly boring. So guys, thank you so much for coming back. So I wanted to give a quick shout out again to Ray, who just received, as of today, his treasure that he won from the Twitter giveaway, guys. And in fact, we only have a week left until we give away 2 ledgers on the channel. So all you have to do to enter there is to leave a comment below. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and ding that bell. And guys, I'm kind of, I actually want to do giveaways every 2 weeks instead of every month on the channel. And in fact, I would be open to suggestions for what cryptocurrency hardware wallets you would be interested in. We've given away Trezor, we're doing Ledger. So if you guys want to, continue those two, or you have different ideas, make sure to leave a comment below. But now, absolutely, we have to get into the important stuff here. Okay, this is a very, very incredibly important range, guys. So first I want to actually start off by doing this. We take the Fibonacci from the very bottom of what the market structure was for a few months back in the summer as we were trying to find a low around that $9,000 level. You can see this acts as the top here, and as well we faced a lot of resistance and rejection here back in October and the beginning of November of 2019. So if we take the Fibonacci, okay, we put it right basically on that line, we take it down to the lows of this inverse head and shoulders. Currently, right now, that for this price range in this area is actually the golden pocket. Yet again, this thing shows up a million times in patterns. It's very easy to find basically because the markets tend to obey these Fibonacci retracements here. So you see the 0.65 and the 0.618 also is coincidentally right at the 8.2 level, which is one of the reasons we were watching for this target for so long here. And now as well, you see guys, I mean, look at this as well. We can go back and look at other things that just happened to fall here. This was the resistance here, okay, another key level. As soon as it plummeted through here, you see some massive candles here down to capitulate even lower. Okay, as soon as it tested right here and didn't find support, you see when did the biggest candles come? Right after that. Okay, you can see it just plummeted after going through that Fibonacci right there. So the golden pocket for this range and this area on the price charts is important. So we have the 8.2. Guys, keep in mind as well, look, you see these 2 EMAs, the 21 EMA and the 200 EMA right here, actually bounced right off of the 21 EMA, as you can see right here, right around the 8296, 8290, 83, right about here. Okay, guys, we see that bounce there. And now if we take a look, we have actually more to talk about on this chart, but I just want to show you that bounce here. On the hourly chart, you can see for the past 5 hours, it has been bouncing here. Now, there is a key test that's coming up on these small time frames. Don't like putting a lot of stock into these. Since the video is pretty much going in real time, this will be uploaded very soon. Again, I do think this will play some key resistance here. It did here as we were falling through. You can see it tried to break above it. It clearly just kept breaking down here. So it'll be interesting to see, if we can actually get a bounce here. But guys, I'll be honest. I personally think that this bounce will take a few days. I could be absolutely wrong, but I personally don't think that if we're actually going to bounce here, like we're seeing a bounce now, if we actually get a confirmed like daily bounce and it continues bouncing here over the next few days, I think that will be a process. I don't think it'll just bounce straight up today and we'll be back at like 9,000. I definitely don't think that's the case. Realistically, I think we need to confirm a bounce here. It could even just take like a day or two, maybe like 48 hours, 36 hours, get a bounce here, and then we could continue higher. But for right now, we do see the momentum pull back, and this is good for right now, okay? This is the most bullish scenario for a bounce here. Okay, guys, when we were right here, we were talking about a pullback to 82 to come down, the $8,200 level, and it could even go as low as like the 81, and even dip into the 8,000s. But if we start getting that low, that's a little worrisome for a short-term bounce. Okay, because in this perspective that we're talking about right now, for this to be realized, we have to realize this is a very bullish scenario for a bounce, and we have to realize for this to be, confirmed, we need to have our expectations high, and we need to set like high parameters. So it would need to stay around like the 82. It would need to keep bouncing here. So keep that in your noggin as well. 82, besides the EMAs, besides that Fibonacci, there was another key reason we're looking at that, and that's just because of past historical data here. And once we're done talking about this, I actually want to go into a scenario likely if we do get the mega bounce here, and potentially what could happen if we don't get the mega bounce, guys, because we have to keep that in mind. There's always the possibility that we don't get the mega bounce, and there's always the possibility that there could be some more downside. So we have to talk about that target, because that one is actually pretty exciting, if I'm being honest. It's a pretty exciting target. So we see that pullback. Okay, now if we one of the reasons we actually think it's likely, and it would be amazing if we did get a mega bounce here, is because of all of the past resistance and support that we've had right around here. However, primarily, guys, you can see most of this was resistance, and this actually goes back all the way to the 2018 descending triangle as well. But a lot of this has been upward resistance, which obviously does turn into, when it's coming down, support. Okay, so you can see for the most part over the past, actually at this point it's been about 8-9 months, this has been significant resistance right here in this area here. So again, that combined with the fact that we have the EMAs right here, combined with the Fibonacci right there, that would be a very healthy, I can't even overstate how healthy of a pullback area that would be. If we pulled back, and if we continue to essentially consolidate here for another day or two, and then take a retest to try and get back to like this $9,000 area, that is so optimistic. That is so bullish, because guys, we need to have the fluctuations and we need the downside, but there is a limit to that. We can't have too much downside, because then things obviously get very bearish there. So as well here, if we talk about a second downside scenario, basically when all the marbles go out the window in my book, basically when everything has gone to heck, basically if we get down to this $7,900 area, we break slightly past that. We could wick down to it and it'd be totally fine here, because again, this is so close to here. This region here is just so close to each other, because this is the 82 right here basically, and this is the 79. Okay, it's only like a difference of $100 to $300, not very much right there, depending on when the day is, because this is upward sloping, so that will change daily. But as well, the next big target would have to be right around that 77 to 75. Huge area. That was the very top essentially of what this inverse head and shoulders was printing, and this descending neckline really is not even valid anymore in terms of a place of where we would possibly see support. I really don't think, because this is just extended so long, this is not an area we'd really look at, because at this point, say it would come down in a few days from now, let's say the 30th, let's say a week from now, this $6,600 level of support I think would be totally arbitrary at that point. So we have to watch out for this, that once we start breaking, okay guys, this is not even, I'm just preparing you for a possibility here, because right now things are looking mega bouncy, and if we continue this bounce, which we've already seen, you can look at this daily candle right now, over about a third of this candle is straight bounce mode right now. It's all it's all wick right here. This accounts for this big wick on the daily. This is the hourly chart. But basically, I stay straight bull mode until we would get down to about that $77 or $7,500 to $7,700 range. If we go below that significantly or for a prolonged amount of time, guys, then bull mode is temporarily off. Okay, I just want to prepare you for that scenario. But as for right now, I'm absolutely full bull mode, because this looks prime. Again, this is exactly what we wanted, what we expected, and what we were calling for right on this 82. So that's perfect. That's great if we can maintain that. Now let's talk about some targets for the upside, okay, because that's exciting as well. And before we do, I just want to show you this. Altcoin's doing the same thing, but they are getting that similar bounce at some key levels. Litecoin got right about 52, right? It's about 54, 55-ish right now, fluctuating between there. So that's bounce mode, full on bounce mode there. And now, as far as targets for the upside, we're going to see this. We're going to see it have to come up. And if it breaks 9,000, I think that it'll be a very clear shot. If it does break 9,000 concisely, and it breaks that 92, I think it'll get a clear shot. I think if we break the 9,000 and the 92, I think that gives us a very clear shot to break the 10K. Okay, so if we would actually break 9,000, okay, because when we usually break big numbers like that, we usually get even more of a significant little boost, because the market gets confident there. If we then break the 92, I think 10,000 is clear in sight, and you guys know about 10,000. 10,000 is extremely exciting. There's so many possibilities. We will make that video when and if we come to it, And ideally that could happen within the next week. Okay, keep that in mind. So guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys have been great, been awesome, and having so much fun. If you guys are new, thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next one.